Hi guys, Rachel Sweat here. Wanted to share with you an article I found that was kind of like a duh moment for me, and I'm sure it will be for you. Kind of something that we all, I think, have a pretty good grasp on, but still doesn't make it any less important. This article is titled "Leaders Can Change Company Culture Through Their Behaviors" by Jim Whitehurst. While this seems like a topic that's pretty obvious to most of us, the different things that he presents kind of made me think further into my organization, as well as looking back on the opportunities I've had with different organizations and seeing how this relates. So, first, Whitehurst outlines what culture is to him. He says that culture is about how people interact inside the organization, and it's learned, and it's not just simply a byproduct. Our cultures are created by the actions that we take. He'll give a couple of examples that we'll get to in a minute, but he then goes on to explain a situation of sitting on the board at United Airlines. He states that each meeting, the very first topic that they address is where the fire exits are, how to get to the stairs, and where they should meet after if they were in need to evacuate. United, of course, is built on a culture of safety. So, what better way to reinforce that foundation with the behaviors and actions that promote this culture? So, of course, they're pretty much doing the same thing flight attendants do, making sure that everyone knows where to go. And this kind of shows the board, of course, that they're focused on safety. Whitehurst then goes on to give an example of some executives that need to be more customer focused. They've decided that they need to improve their customer satisfaction. However, they're talking about this, but if you look at their agendas, they're filled with meetings. They don't really have time set out to discuss how to improve the customer's experience. They don't spend a lot of time out in the field visiting with customers or even fielding those phone calls that maybe the frontline coworkers get. If the leadership, of course, doesn't do this, if they don't promote the culture of customer oriented type things, and if they're not putting themselves out there for the customers, they certainly can't expect even their frontline coworkers to follow suit. Amazon's founder and CEO Jeff Bezos he has said that if an employee has a 1 in 10 chance to increase their investment by 100 times, he wants them to take it. But they also know that with this also comes the chance of failure, and to be able to tolerate someone failing 9 times out of 10. Ultimately, leadership is going to be the ones who pave the road for what they want to see happening in the culture and in the organization. Of course, in Amazon's case, if leadership wants them to take big steps to potentially increase their investment 100-fold, leadership must be supportive of that. And ultimately, everything is driven by leadership. In my time at Mercy, leadership was a huge part of it, and they made you eat, sleep, and drink and bleed that organization, and certainly the sister there really, really motivated you to be the best person that you could. So, while we think that the frontline coworkers and that they have a huge impact on culture, but they need someone there to support them and help them along and show them the proper behaviors to support the culture. So I hope that this kind of was enlightening for you as it was for me. Feel free to check out the article and see how it applies to you. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks.